On Good Friday, I'm reminded that epiphany and revelation is a part of many spiritual traditions. And certainly the testimony, the lived experience of people behind bars in solitary confinement has been a revelation to me and to many of us. So it was shortly after the Quakers, and I'm a Quaker, introduced solitary confinement in Pennsylvania as a means of reflection that the Quaker prison reformer Elizabeth Fry had a revelation, and her revelation was that solitary confinement was a failure and it was an abomination. So here's something that to me is a revelation from someone from the other side of the bars. Why I Ended the Horror of Long-Term Solitary in Colorado's Prisons by Rick Raemisch, Executive Director, Colorado Department of Corrections. And I will excerpt from this because it's cold. In Colorado, long-term solitary confinement used to be a tool that was regularly used in corrections. The problem was that it was not corrective at all. It was indiscriminate punishment that too often amounted to torture and did not make anyone safer. The practice was pervasive because it was considered reasonable and effective. It was neither. In practice, long-term isolation punished people in a way that would not only lack humanity but sense. And when a program lacks both sense and humanity, the results are as clear as they are disastrous. Dehumanization and harm. Okay, now it goes on to say, we have ended the use of long-term solitary. Okay, they were the first in the nation to do it. Connecticut comes after Colorado in alphabetical order, so let's get it done. Now, let me just tell you, so we can look forward to what happens after solitary is abolished. Hold on for just a second here. Prisoners must be provided services for both mental health issues and re-entry, both of which will help them progress while incarcerated and when they return to their communities. With this lesson in hand, we initially banned solitary in our 2 prisons devoted to people with mental health issues. Instead of long-term restrictive housing cells, we developed de-escalation cells where incarcerated people could go for a timeout. Assaults, forced cells, entries, and the use of heavy restraints declined by 40%. Since September 2017, Colorado's Supermax facility has been changed to house prisoners who still pose security issues, but without the use of solitary confinement. Prisoners are now using the gym, day halls, and re-entry units as we undergo a cultural shift away from employing counterproductive punishments. Okay, here we go. Last thing here. To uphold human rights, America needs to move as far away from the status quo of mass punishment system as we can. And corrections officials need to embrace reforms so that there are fewer victims, safer institutions, and safer communities. Thank you.